Welcome to my video. Please subscribe my Astronode channel. On the final weekend of August 2025, Prime Minister Narendra Modi touched down at Tianjin Binhai International Airport, marking the beginning of a highly anticipated diplomatic mission. The world watched as Modi, accompanied by a delegation of senior officials, stepped onto Chinese soil for the first time in years, signaling a potential turning point in the relationship between Asia's two largest nations. His arrival marked the start of a pivotal two-day visit to China, one that had been months in the making and was closely followed by international observers. The Indian diaspora, gathered in large numbers, greeted him with spirited chants of Bharat Mata Ki Jai and Vande Mataram, their voices echoing through the airport and city streets. The atmosphere was electric, filled with hope, pride, and a sense of unity that transcended borders. From the airport to his hotel, the warm welcome was unmistakable. It wasn't just a ceremonial gesture. It was a powerful signal that the mood had shifted, and that both nations were ready to turn the page on years of tension and mistrust. Modi took to social media to acknowledge the emotional reception, sharing heartfelt messages and images that quickly went viral. His posts highlighted the human side of diplomacy, showing how personal connections and public sentiment can shape international relations. The vibrant celebrations outside his hotel were more than just a display of patriotism. They represented a grassroots endorsement of renewed engagement, with families and children waving flags and expressing optimism for the future. These enthusiastic scenes in Tianjin stood in stark contrast to the strained silence and diplomatic chill that had defined the previous decade, underscoring just how much had changed. The public camaraderie between Indian and Chinese officials, as well as the visible support from citizens of both countries, sent a clear message. Both sides were now ready to move beyond old grievances and focus on building a shared, prosperous future. This grand and heartfelt welcome set the perfect stage for the serious discussions that would follow at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit, framing the high-stakes talks in an atmosphere of goodwill, optimism, and renewed hope for lasting peace in the region. At his hotel, Prime Minister Modi was welcomed not just by officials and dignitaries, but by an atmosphere charged with anticipation and warmth. The reception was carefully curated to reflect not only hospitality, but also a deep respect for India's cultural legacy. Instead of a conventional welcome, the hotel lobby was transformed into a vibrant stage for a unique cultural performance, captivating guests and dignitaries alike. Chinese musicians, having mastered Indian classical instruments like the sitar and tabla, filled the air with melodies that resonated with both Indian and Chinese traditions, creating a harmonious blend of East and South Asian artistry. The highlight was a mesmerizing Odissi dance by Zhang Jinghu, a Chinese artist who spent years training under an Indian guru. Her performance was a testament to the dedication and passion required to truly understand another culture's art form. This was more than a show. It was a heartfelt tribute to India's artistic heritage and a testament to the power of cultural exchange. The applause that followed was not just for the performance, but for the spirit of friendship it represented. Zhang's excitement at performing for Prime Minister Modi underscored the personal connections that underpin diplomacy. Her joy reflected the pride of both her mentors and her audience. The performance reminded everyone present that India-China ties are rooted in millennia of shared history, culture, and mutual respect, transcending borders and politics. By embracing Indian art and traditions, the Chinese hosts sent a powerful message of kinship, shared heritage, and a willingness to build bridges through creativity and understanding. Art became a bridge, fostering mutual understanding and goodwill beyond politics. It opened doors to dialogue and reminded all that culture can unite where words sometimes fail. This inspired start to the summit highlighted that lasting peace and cooperation often begin with the soft power of culture, setting the tone for meaningful engagement and collaboration between nations. Modi's arrival in Tianjin marked his first official visit to China in 7 years, ending a long diplomatic freeze after the 2020 Galwan Valley clash. For years, high-level engagement was absent, increasing risks of miscalculation between two nuclear-armed neighbors. This visit was a deliberate step to break the stalemate and re-engage at the highest level. It signaled mutual recognition that prolonged antagonism was unsustainable for both nations and the region. The visit itself was a diplomatic victory, reflecting painstaking efforts to de-escalate tensions. Every handshake and statement was closely watched, amplifying the significance of this reset. It was a moment to begin rebuilding trust, one conversation at a time. Modi's main purpose in Tianjin was to attend the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit, a gathering that has grown in both significance and scale over the years. The SCO is now recognized as the world's largest regional grouping, not just by population, but also by the breadth of its ambitions and the diversity of its member states. The organization brings together China, Russia, India, Pakistan, Iran, Belarus, and the nations of Central Asia, each with its own unique priorities and perspectives. Together, these countries represent a major share of the global population and economy, making decisions that can influence the world far beyond their borders. The 2025 summit was especially notable, gathering over 20 heads of state and government leaders under one roof. For several days, Tianjin transformed into a global diplomatic hub, with intense discussions and negotiations taking place at every corner. The summit's agenda was ambitious, spanning security, trade, connectivity, and climate change, issues that are not only vital to the region's future, but also to the stability and prosperity of the wider world. For India, participation in the SCO is a strategic opportunity to advance its interests on a multilateral stage, engage directly with China and Pakistan on critical issues, and deepen its long-standing ties with Russia and the Central Asian republics, opening new avenues for cooperation. Membership allows India to help shape the regional security architecture, collaborate on counterterrorism, and promote economic connectivity across Eurasia. The summit's joint statement was expected to emphasize the importance of collective security and to push back against unilateralism, calling for a more balanced and inclusive approach to global governance. This gathering of giants signaled a clear shift toward a multipolar world order, where no single power dominates the global stage. With the SCO articulating a distinct Eurasian vision, the summit in Tianjin marked a pivotal moment in the evolution of international relations. The summit's highlight was the anticipated meeting between Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping, their first formal engagement in 7 years. The world watched as their conversation could set the tone for Asia's future. The agenda included border progress, economic ties, and strategic alignment in a changing world. A direct leader-to-leader dialogue was crucial to ratify progress and rebuild trust shattered in 2020. Modi also met Russian President Vladimir Putin, reaffirming India's enduring partnership with Russia amid shifting global alignments. These meetings underscored India's strategic autonomy and its role in a complex trilateral dynamic with China and Russia. Together, these nations shaped forums like SCO and BRICS, counterbalancing Western dominance. The discussions were about managing complex relationships and prioritizing regional stability. The handshakes in Tianjin were high-stakes moves on the global chessboard. Modi's visit was the result of a gradual thaw, nurtured by confidence-building measures over the past year. The breakthrough came with a 2024 border deal, establishing disengagement and de-escalation along the line of actual control. New patrolling protocols in 2025 further reduced risks of confrontation. These agreements demonstrated a shared will to manage disputes responsibly and rebuild trust. Economic and social ties also resumed. Direct flights restarted, border trade reopened, and visa processes eased. These steps signaled a return to normalcy and mutual benefit. By making travel and exchange easier, both sides fostered societal understanding. This holistic approach created the foundation for Modi's visit as a partner, not a supplicant. The summit unfolded against a turbulent backdrop shaped by U.S. actions, including steep tariffs on Indian goods. U.S. pressure, especially over India's ties with Russia, pushed India, China, and Russia closer together. While India values its U.S. partnership, it fiercely guards its strategic autonomy. The SCO Summit became a forum to push back against unilateral economic actions and advocate for multilateralism. The joint statement was expected to condemn protectionism and promote a multipolar order. For India, this was a delicate balancing act, engaging with all sides while defending its interests. The presence of sanctioned leaders like Putin and Lukashenko underscored the SCO's alternative bloc status. India's active participation was a masterclass in multipolar diplomacy. In Tianjin, India played its pieces with calculated precision. As the SCO summit closed, the implications of Modi's visit became clear: a cautious optimism for India-China relations. High-level engagement reset the relationship from hostility to managed competition and potential cooperation. Dialogue at the top is now the key to preventing future conflicts and managing differences diplomatically. The summit reinforced the SCO's role as a regional anchor for stability, with India-China and India-Russia ties at its core. Economic ties are set to revive, promising new opportunities for both nations. The summit may catalyze broader cooperation, making economic engagement a buffer against political tensions. This visit was a strategic course correction, acknowledging that India and China's destinies are intertwined. The legacy of Tianjin will depend on whether it marks the start of a new era of peace and partnership for an Asian century.